you can go back very long back, but you can go back, for instance, to 1970. The 1970s in northwestern Europe or Western Europe, all countries started with surface water protection due to European legislation or whatever. But there was a international consensus that we should do more on surface water protection. So that's a turning point in water management in all West European countries. Around 1985 you see another turning point, that many countries think about more integrated water management, and it's surface water and groundwater together, and they are interconnected, and it's not only the water system but also the water, the boards of the water courses, and the ecology in the water system. So before that time, a water system is just an artificial water system. It's just civil engineering. But after that time, ecologists also came into the field of water management. And water management started to think about the ecological aspects of functioning of water systems. Well, in the Netherlands, after 1995, we had important river floods in the Meuse and the Rhine system. We became aware that we cannot get all the water out of the country by just transporting it through rivers which are on both sides diked, strengthened by dikes, and then water goes directly to the sea. Now the sea level is rising, and we cannot get it as quickly as we want to the sea, so it goes over the dike, and you can continuously building higher dikes, but the insight was we better take the dikes a little bit back and create more space for the river in its floodplains. And therefore we developed the Room for the River program. And in 1998, so 93, 95 we had the big river floods on the Meuse and the Rhine, and 98 we had in the eastern of the Netherlands so intensive rainfall that the rainwater couldn't get away quickly enough. So the complete East Netherlands was almost flooded just due to rainfall.
When you say East Netherlands, you mean where we are now? In like a Twente region or?
Yeah, Gelderland, Overijssel, Drenthe, Groningen.
Okay.
That part, yeah. So it's a large part of the Netherlands. And I think even the south, I don't know quite well anymore. But if due to this situation, we started up a national commission called Waterbeheer 21ste eeuw. And I can show you the report.
Okay.
Came up with this report, Water Policy for the 21st Century. It was an advisory report by the Commission, Water Policy 21st Century. And, well, it was presented in August 2000. Give water the room and the attention
it deserves.
It deserves. I can read Dutch.
A little bit.
This was the committee. Let's see if there's some.
Did you contribute to this report?
No, not at. No, I wasn't. 7 years ago, I wasn't. I was not so. How do you say? I was not chairman of a water authority at that time, so I wasn't that much involved.
Okay.
Well, this is the picture of the Netherlands they show. This is sea level, Amsterdam is below, Groningen is just right on that level. Breda in the south is much higher, but the Alexanderpolder near Rotterdam is even lower than Amsterdam. So that's the situation in the Netherlands. Describe developments, but they came with an idea of what they called hold the water as much as you can. So that's a TRITS they call a triple principle. The first principle is hold as much as you can, as high as you can in the water system. Secondly, try to store water. And if you cannot hold or store it, then try to drain it. And this became a leading principle in water management due to this commission.
Okay.
So
was that general water management or specifically
general
flood?
Yeah, general water management for the whole country.
Okay.
It became based on this triple principle. So try to hold as much as you can. Try to store it. And thirdly, if you cannot do these two things, then try to drain it. Before this report, we had a focus on just drain it, afvoeren. While due to this report, we paid more attention to this and to this.
So to storing and to holding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and holding is means keeping it in your garden, for instance. So that's moving more slowly down the hill, or try to infiltrate it in the soil. And storing is so holding means that it's not going away at all.
So
storing means that it's temporarily.
So it doesn't enter the drainage system. So it's like containers and keeping it.
An example of holding water is elevating your source of your broach. I mean, if you have a drainage way, a water course, the deeper it is, the more it drains groundwater. If you make it undeepen it, it's draining less groundwater, and that's what they mean with holding.
Okay.
Try to drain as little water as you can. So this was the start of undeepen all the water courses and the drains as much as we could. So elevating groundwater levels. That's a measure for holding water. The storage is more about just create a retention pond where you can store the water temporarily, so that it not all needs to be drained at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the first time, or it's like the...
It was a very influential step towards more handling rainwater in a different way. So that's a paradigm shift that we were talking about.
Yeah. I also noticed that, so the 7 ambitions came from this year's, or the 2018 Delta plan. Mm-hmm. And I noticed the year before there was the steering committee, I think it was, that was set up, and I think maybe the year before that it was a Delta decision. I think I'm getting my years slightly confused, but it seems more recent that it's appearing in the Delta program.
Okay, this is the Delta program that came out in September this year. Yeah. And that was produced by a steering committee, and I'm the chairman of that steering committee. And that steering committee started in 2016. And that might be confusing, in 2015 there was already a Delta decision.
Okay.
That's what you were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you put the dates in the timeline, then and all these paradigm shifts, I mentioned 1970, 1985, 1995, 2000. Then there's another important point on this timeline, that's the year 2005. We had in New Orleans